Hey kiddos, third graders at Barton Hills, now entering fourth grade. Hope you guys are having a great summer. Here's your second recorder lesson, actually your first official fourth grade only recorder lesson. Got my recorder here. Oh no, it's in three parts. Don't freak out, it's going to be okay. Line up these holes with the W. Nice and straight and even. And this last one, you want to be a little bit off center. You'll see why soon when we get into low C. So you want your pinky, your right hand pinky, to get to that low double hole. Anyway, let's start with Mary Had a Little Lamb. We're going to take it from first position, which is in your lap, to second position. Make sure your left hand is on top. Make sure your thumb, your left hand thumb, is covering the thumb hole. First finger on the first hole, second finger on the second hole, and third finger on the third hole. And this is our do, which is G. And what line on the staff would that be? Right, the second line on the staff in treble clef. But this starts on B, which is the mi. So if G is A, if G is do, A would be re, which is two fingers, and B would be mi. Don't ignore your right hand. Remember, you're not looking in a mirror here. This is your right hand, which would actually be on the other side for you. Make sure your right hand thumb is underneath kind of the fourth hole of the recorder. And don't fan your fingers out, because when we get into the low notes, you'll have to be able to get there quickly. You're resting on your chin for second position. You don't want to curl your fingers back. If you do that, you're not going to be able to get to your finger positions in time. So I'm kind of ready to go. I'm looking pretty good here. My fingers are nice, flat and fat. I have my B ready to go. Thumb is covering the thumb hole. My right hand thumb is underneath the fourth hole. And I'm ready to play Mary Had a Little Lamb. Remember, Mary Had a Little Lamb has the high D. High D is tricky. Let's practice first going from B to high D. High D, your second finger comes on the second hole. Your first finger comes off, which it usually doesn't, I know. It's a weird one. And most importantly, your thumb comes off the thumb hole. So for high D, the only two fingers that should be on the recorder, and I'm going to fan out here, but you don't. The only fingers that should be on the recorder for high D is your second finger, which is your middle finger on your left hand, should be covering the second hole, and your thumb in your right hand should still be underneath that fourth hole for support. If I were to let go of my right hand thumb, what would happen to the recorder? It would fall, so you need it there. And that's our high D. All right, so I'm going to go first. You're going to echo. We're going to do phrase by phrase, a musical sentence by musical sentence. I go first, you echo. And we're starting on B, which is me. You're going to go 1, 2, ready, and. Now I'm going to go, those are two rays, those are two A's. What space on the staff would those A's be? How do you spell face? F-A. You're right, the second space. And just three A's. You play. Now here's the trickiest part of Mary Had a Little Lamb. We're going to go from B to high D. B to high D, which is a mi so so. You try it. 1, 2, ready, go. If you didn't get that the first time, don't worry, just practice that. Practice from going from B, which is really easy, first finger and thumb on, to high D. Second finger comes on the second hole, your first finger comes off, and your thumb comes off. Let's just practice that going back and forth. Hold the B. When I say switch, you're not going to blow. When I say switch, switch to high D. Ready, switch. Did your thumb come off, your thumb hole? Are you nice, flat, and fat? Go back to B and switch to high D. Let's practice that little phrase again, the B to high D. I go first and you echo. Ready, 2, ready, play. Good. Now the last couple phrases, I go. You, ready, and. I play. This one's tricky. It's A, B, A, G, which is re, re, mi, re, do. Starts on the A, 2 fingers. Make sure you have your bottom lip in this groove here. Don't put just the tip of the recorder in your mouth, and don't put too much of the recorder in your mouth either. I go first, again. You play. Okay, let's try the whole thing. Get your B ready. Practice that B to high D one more time. Good. B to high D. B to high D. If you can nail that, it's one of the trickiest switches in the recorder. All right, here we go on the B. 1, 2, ready, and. Here it comes. Good. Now, with Old MacDonald, we have to go to low so. And if we're in the key of G, and G is do, high D would be high so. And what would be low so? If you said low D, give yourself a pat on the back. In low D, we have to use our bottom 3 fingers, or our right hand first, second, and third fingers to get to low D, which is 6 fingers. If you do it right, you should have every hole covered on the recorder except the bottom double hole. And every finger should be on the recorder except your pinkies. Give me a little pinky wave. Here it comes. All right. So, nice, flat, and fat. If you're getting this sound, you're probably too loose and you have little gaps. See? Little gaps. Any gap will allow air to sneak out and make that squeaking sound. You gotta squeeze it until it kind of hurts. Let's practice some low Ds. And low D is so low that it's actually right below that E line on the staff. It's on the first space underneath the staff. So it's right underneath the E line for every good boy does fine. It's right underneath that E. Now we know high D, every good boy does, is the 4th line, but this is the low D, right underneath the E. Okay, I go first, you echo. We're going to do a ta, 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 2 quarters and a half note. You. I play. You. Now also has a low E. And low E, it's weird, it's a 5-finger position. You have to be able to take off your ring finger in your right hand. You have to give that ring finger a little bit of a workout. Yeah, it's a hard finger to control. I know. Hard finger control. Just try working that ring finger. Remember, you're not looking in the mirror. Make sure you're using your right hand down low and you're using your right hand ring finger. It's going to look weird. It's going to look like it's the opposite. But if it looks like it's the opposite, you're actually doing it right. Okay, work that ring finger. Okay, so we're going to go from do to low so to low la. And it's Old MacDonald. I go first, you echo. It starts on G, which is the do, key of G. How many sharps in the key of G? If you said 1 sharp, good work. That's the F sharp. We're not going to worry about that. We don't have the T in the song. All right. I go first, you echo. Ready? So did you see what I did? I had some 3s, some Gs, had some 6s, which is our Ds, some 5s, which is our Es, and back to 6, which is our D. I'm going to play it again. You just watch me. Okay. Are you ready? You ready? Okay. Let's play. On the G. Remember, we're going to do this G. Ta, ta, ta. 6, 5, 5, 6. Here we go. 1, 2. Ready? Play with me. Then we have our mi, mi, re, re, do. Just like Mary Had a Little Lamb. Go back to our B, which is our mi. You can just play this with me. This is easy. On the B. 1, 2, ready, and. Guess what? That whole section repeats. On the G, ready, and. Up to the B. Now we have with the oink oink here and an oink oink there. It's all G's. All G, which means it's all what pitch if you're in the key of G. Did you say do? Did you? You did. Give yourself a pat on the back. I did, so give yourself a pat on the back. On the G, ready, and. Notice I did something bad. My right hand was fanned out way too much. You want to be right above those bottom holes. You're playing them. Now let's finish it. G, back to low D. Ready? And. High B. Okay, I showed off a little bit. Don't be afraid to show off a little bit. The little trill on the do and the re. All right, you ready to play do, or you ready to play Old MacDonald with me? All right, here we go. On the G. 1, 2, ready, and. High B. Repeat that section. High B. Bunch of G's. I ended it the Tabone way. You end it your way. Hey, nice work. Pleasure jamming with you. See you soon.